Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. So whether it's teachers, nurses, or grocery store workers, when it comes to labor unions, the fight to have enough money to survive has become a common refrain. And this fight was made pretty clear last week when the Minneapolis City Council decided rideshare drivers deserve a minimum wage equal to the rest of the city, even if that means Uber and Lyft leave Minneapolis altogether. But while the minimum wage for each of the Twin Cities is now over $15 an hour, that's not the case for the whole state. And there are lawmakers who want that to change. John Croman is in St. Paul tonight to talk about this push with the latest bill. John, this one could double the minimum wage in less than 5 years?
Almost double it, Jana. We're talking about going all the way to $20 an hour opposed to $10.85 an hour now. If this bill passes and it becomes law, we'd go to 20 in 2028. Now, a lot of employers are already paying more than the state minimum wage, but this bill is aimed at giving everybody else a raise.
Businesses are realizing that $10.85 isn't enough to compete for workers anymore. Our laws should also recognize that.
Minneapolis Democrat Zainab Mohammed asked the Senate Labor Committee to acknowledge that things have changed in the last decade.
I'm in no place to think that this bill is perfect, but I think if we're going to have a conversation around minimum wage, we've got to talk about what it means to question if $10.85 is enough to live in Minnesota.
Her bill would raise the state minimum to $15 an hour this August and then go up in steps to $20 an hour by 2028. Currently, Minnesota's minimum is in the middle of the pack in the upper Midwest. Zoom out to the nation as a whole, there are 25 states with higher minimums. The ones in red here are the states that are already at or above $15 an hour.
But when I was making $20 an hour, in just 3 months, I maintained housing for myself and my children. I fed everyone, clothed everyone, maintained my vehicle, and even got my children involved in activities like cheerleading, basketball, and boxing. And I was able to catch up on all my bills.
The panel heard from hourly workers and from the head of the National Federation of Independent Businesses in Minnesota, or NFIB.
One of the biggest challenges they face is high labor cost, which more than 1 in 10 small business owners say is their single biggest problem. A $20 an hour minimum wage will only make their problem worse and likely put many mom and pop businesses out of business.
John Reynolds cited studies by the Minneapolis Federal Reserve Bank showing job losses in Minneapolis and St. Paul after they adopted a $15 minimum wage. Retailers and restaurant industry lost the most jobs in those cities.
The Federal Reserve found precipitous drops in the number of retail and restaurant jobs in both cities due to those minimum wage increases, as well as significant reductions in hours worked and lower average earnings for workers in those industries.
Republicans on the committee say the key to making life more affordable for hourly workers is shrinking how much the government takes.
What we could do is decrease taxes, let people keep more money than they're actually making more money. So if you're making $15 an hour right now and we decrease your taxes, you're going to make more money, and it's not putting a burden on employers, and then you'll be able to afford living.
I haven't had workers come to me and say, I don't want to pay taxes. But what they do tell me is, I'm not getting paid enough at my job, and I deserve to get paid a living wage. So I think we're having a philosophical difference here.
So could remain a philosophical difference because right now we're not seeing a House companion bill to this, and this minimum wage is not on House Speaker Melissa Hortman's top 3 list that she listed for this session, which is the bonding bill, tax code changes, and the Equal Rights Amendment. So it'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out. Jana, what the committee did today is they laid it over, which means it can be brought up later in the session or folded into a larger omnibus labor bill.
Good job on saying omnibus there, John. So when they lay something over, does that mean they can skip that Friday deadline you've talked a little bit about?
Well, yeah, this hearing and the vote to lay it over does mean it has met the Friday deadline. And then, someone's going to have to really run fast to put a similar bill in the House and get it through by Friday's deadline, which it had been done before, but it would take a lot.
Right, maybe just starting the conversation. Appreciate it, John Croman.